The newborn baby never received visitors at the hospital. While other children in the ward had parents, relatives, or friends who came to check on them, this tiny baby lay alone in the incubator, day after day, no one by its side. Nurses would whisper about how strange it was, but no one knew the full story. Ashley, a nurse with more than 10 years of experience at the children's hospital, couldn't ignore it. Though she had no children of her own, she loved caring for the little ones who came through the hospital doors. She saw them as fragile miracles, each deserving love, comfort, and protection. Every time she passed by the lonely incubator, her heart ached a little more. At first, she thought maybe the parents were simply unable to visit. Perhaps they lived far away, or were going through some crisis. But as days passed, no one came. Not a mother, not a father, not even a distant relative. The baby was completely alone. Finally, Ashley approached her colleagues and asked about the situation. The truth shocked her. The baby had not been admitted by family members. Instead, paramedics had brought the child in after receiving an anonymous emergency call. The caller had reported that a newborn had been abandoned in a park near the hospital. When emergency services arrived, they found the baby wrapped in nothing but a thin blanket, left on a park bench in the freezing night air. There was no sign of the parents. No note. Nothing. Ashley was horrified. She immediately went to check on the child, determined to give it the warmth and care it had been denied. She leaned over the incubator, whispering gently as she touched the baby's tiny hand. The baby responded with a faint movement, as if desperately clinging to life. But as Ashley examined the baby more carefully, something made her freeze. Her eyes widened, her chest tightened. For a moment, she could hardly breathe. The child bore marks, terrible marks, that no baby should ever have. Bruises along its fragile arms, scratches on its legs, and, most disturbingly, small burns on its skin. These were not injuries caused by an accident or a fall. They were deliberate, were signs of abuse. Ashley's hands trembled as tears filled her eyes. The realization hit her like a storm. This child hadn't just been abandoned. It had been tortured. The horror of it overwhelmed her. How could parents do such a thing to their own flesh and blood? She knew immediately this was not just a medical case. It was a crime. Without wasting a second, Ashley rushed to the phone and called the police. Her voice was urgent, filled with emotion, as she explained what she had seen. Within minutes, officers arrived at the hospital. When the police examined the child, their expressions darkened. The injuries were undeniable proof of abuse. They began questioning staff, reviewing surveillance footage from the park area, and searching for any clue that might lead them to the people responsible. Ashley stood by the incubator, holding back tears as she stroked the baby's tiny hand. She promised silently that the child would never be alone again. Over the next days, investigations revealed the shocking truth. The baby's parents had intentionally abandoned it after months of abuse. Unable to face the consequences of their cruelty, they had left the infant to die in the cold night, hoping no one would ever discover the truth. But fate had intervened. The anonymous call, the paramedics, and Ashley's sharp eyes had saved the baby's life. The parents were eventually tracked down and arrested. Their crimes horrified the community, and justice was demanded for the little one who had suffered so much. As for Ashley, she continued to care for the baby, ensuring it received not just medical attention, also the love and tenderness it had been denied from the very beginning. Each day, as the baby grew stronger, Ashley felt a bond forming. She realized that sometimes family isn't defined by blood, but by compassion and love. It began as a heartbreaking tragedy, slowly turned into a story of hope and justice. The baby, once abandoned and broken, was finally safe, and Ashley, the nurse who refused to turn away, became the light that guided the child toward a brighter future.